Let's say how I created this infinite chain launching setup. I do a closed polygon circle, give some point normals, extracted the points so we can copy our chain to these points. Then I added a point in the center, and in the attribute walk I imported our point and took the position of this circle we just created and subtracted the distance between them, and this will be our velocity. When I turn the point rails, you can see the velocity is facing in the direction of our point we just created. That's it for the velocity setup. Now let's check the chain setup I created. I took a open polygon, fused the points, gave 90-degree rotation on y-axis, and when you copy to points, you can see this is our base setup, and we can see our chain proxy is facing in the directional point we created. I wanted the launching of the chain to be random and not at the same time, and my friend Shivam was kind enough to help me with the vex here. So let's check the vex. This vex basically means we are creating gap between frames, and after certain frames the next chain proxy should launch using active function on point numbers. I will add the vex code in the pinned comments for your convenience, and you can adjust the frame gaps from here. And if I play this, you can see points are being activated on the frame gaps we created here. But I want the point activation to be random, so I added a sort node before the wrangle we created, and in the point sort I have kept it to random. Now let's check the Vellum setup. So I'm using Vellum here in this case, which is faster than RBD and cleaner setup, just enough to get the required result. For actual collision between the chain links, you will have to go with the RBD of course, but this is just a simple setup where you don't need actual RBD interaction. You can check my Vellum hair settings and make sure you adjust your thickness as per the thickness of your chain, so when these collide on each other they will have the collision thickness same as the chain and you won't see the intersection between them. Okay, let's dive into the docnet now. Again, this is pretty simple. Took a Vellum object, added a pop drag, and in the Vellum source I have kept the emission type to each frame, so we don't have the continuous launching from the single point but just launching once. And in the Vellum solver, here are my settings. I have kept the substeps to 3 and I would recommend to keep the substeps anything more than 1, because when you increase the substeps the simulation gets more rigid, so it won't behave like a rope. And I have added a collider which I created from tubes and sphere, and let's see what we get. Yeah, this is the best setup. Now let's see how I transform this circle into a chain. Basically I cached the simulation, deleted the p-scale because we're gonna control it later on, added a resample node, gave some normals, and this is my chain. I'm just gonna use a signal link, packed it, give some transforms, and I am using copy to points to copy the link on the chain. As you can see here, to control the thickness I am using attribute triangle and I'm controlling it with the p-scale attribute. And if you want to have more control, You can change the length parameter, and when you play you will have the simulation. Yeah, now let's check the loop dev setup. I imported all the soft data in the stage context. I have added a camera, and I'm using the sine function in the rotation parameter of y-axis, so we get the pendulum animation. The materials are pretty simple, just using a gold and a pretty diffuse material for the background. I have added two different HDR lights, and when I render you'll see this. Yeah, and for the render settings I'm using 256 samples XP engine, and that's it I believe. I have also ticked on some AOVs, and the image mode is set to bucket rendering for the final output. And once the render was done, I imported the EXR sequence in the DaVinci Resolve, did some basic color correction, added exponential low, added the motion blur, did a color space transform from SSCD to sRGB, and rendered it out. Yeah, that's it. Hope you find this tutorial helpful, and let me know if you have any questions or feedbacks, and if you want to suggest me what should I make next tutorial on, you can comment down. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.